Recording in
I'm ready. All right, I will open up this meeting of the Maynard Planning Board. Today's date is November 12th, 2024. The time is 7:02 p.m. We have 5 members present here in the town hall. This meeting is being held in hybrid format, which means that members of the public, board members or applicants can participate here in town hall or virtually through the Zoom link. Please note this meeting is being recorded. Let's skip item 1 and turn to item 2. This is Wisteria Lane subdivision, a bond release request by Walter Erickson of Old Bay Road LLC. Thank you, Mr. Erickson, for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm going to ask Bill for a primer, and then I think he'll turn it over to you in a second. Thank you.
This is the final bond release, which is in form of a tripartite agreement for Wisteria Lane subdivision. It consists of 10 single family units, which was done over the last couple of years, approved by this board. The applicant is requesting a release of from the tripartite agreement. The amount set by the board was 36.
I think it was 37.
I gotta pull up, yes, like, for, let me pull exactly here. And the, we have one item that's going to be, we still require completed, but it was just clarified today. So what my recommendation would be that, we still have to prepare the release. It's being repaired. And I would say if the board chooses to accept release contingent upon staff making sure it's a painting, stripes on something. And that would be my recommendation. And that way, if as soon as we can confirm that it's completed and it's done, and then the reason Mr. Erickson needs this release is because he's going to begin the road acceptance process, and there's a number of steps involved in that.
So as I understood it, Bill, DPW had a handful of comments, and I believe we addressed all but 2 of them, confirmed 2 of them. I think there was line striping, and then one of the signage, or
Yeah, the line striping was a misunderstanding on my part. I thought they wanted a double line at the pedestrian crossing, which I had the line striping company do. But they also wanted a yellow line at the intersection itself to make sure, I assume the cars stayed on the left and the right side of the road.
on Wisteria.
On the stereo.
Yeah, that was what, there was a little misunderstanding.
So that was the first item that is still pending.
That's right.
And then there's a second item that was still pending.
The as-built have been delivered. And unless there was an issue with those in particular, I think the one question was regarding off-site, an off-site diagram of the crossing, which could be done as a which we talked with discussed with the town engineer.
This needs to have a set.
This have provided something to document.
DPW is advising a separate as-built to confirm the installation of a recent Parker Street RRFB equipment. What's RRFB?
It's a pedestrian crossing signal. Solar power, you push the buttons and it turns the lights on.
We know it's there because we can see it, but we just need the as-built on it, right?
So when my engineer did the as-built, I have the MyLars here for the town, we submitted electronic ones. They didn't locate those because they're on town property and they're obviously there, so they didn't put them on the as-built, they only did what was on the stereo.
I totally get it. But those are my understanding of the 2 pending items?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, if the number, by the way, is 37,800. 37,800 is remaining on that.
And so you're advising the board to approve the bond release pending staff confirmation of the 2 items again.
Right, which would, yeah, and if there was any problem with the as-built, which I don't anticipate, but we have those.
Sure.
So I would say pending the provision of it could just be a minor a separate depiction of the cross. And the striping, you understand, so the crosswalk is just a separate, doesn't have to be a whole new plan. But a separate one that just documents that we can include, and we'll include it as an exhibit. And then the striping, which we can just check. And that was just confirmed, and there was a mix up on that, so that's my recommendation.
Okay, any questions from the board? Anything else? We done to share?
That's it. We've submitted all the legal documents and hopefully we'll be on Springtown meeting, have the town officially accepted as a townwide.
Thank you, and I know this was, what was the date on this originally? You started this back in what, 2019, I think?
Yeah, we get
2018?
stuck in COVID. It was around 2000.
Right,
Yeah, it was back,
well, I just want to thank you for your good work,
yeah,
Thank you.
and I will look at the as-bills there.
yeah.
You put together nice as-bills for the town, for the project, really appreciate all that.
Mr. Erickson has done, he's been very responsive, and this is the second or third project he's done with us, and I do appreciate working with the developers that, you know, respond and can address to the satisfaction of the board and of,
And competent. This is very competent work that I've seen,
I would say it's very complicated work.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll make a motion to release the bond request pending staff confirmation of the two items discussed.
I'll second that.
All in favor of that motion, please raise your hand. 5-0.
Okay, and is the board okay, when everything's confirmed, is the board okay if I use your stamps on the release? Your signature stamps
Yeah,
for, okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yes,
all right,
Thank you very much.
thanks, Paul.
thank you.
Pleasure
Mr.
working with you.
Bill, for the video record, that was a 5-0 vote in favor of the motion.
Correct.
You need a sec, Bill?
No.
Okay, I will open up the public hearing, continuance of the public hearing for 52 Main Street. This is an application by Mr. Shevik. Did I say that correctly? Correct. Maynard High Incorporated. This is a continuance from October 8th, 2024. Thank you, Mr. Shevik, for coming back in today. It's good to see you. Since this is a hearing, could you please introduce yourself for the record and then have your team introduce themselves for the record too?
Sure, my name is Jane. I have been working for Domino's about 10 years. I would like to run the one store, which is in next town in Acton. This is gonna be my second project, opening a brand new store in the Maynard. As you said, they have been working with since October. I was working with the architecture. I just wanted to make sure to make everything better. That's why we decided to go over everything with the civil engineer. We make the new plan with everything more requested. Now we are gonna go over everything.
Thank you. Can you, who is supporting you for today's discussion?
So
Ms. Carter, would you mind introducing yourself for the record, please?
Good evening. I'm Sue Carter. I'm a professional engineer from Places Associates. And my office has been helping out Mr. Savick on his site plan at 52 Main Street.
May I call you Susan for tonight?
Oh, or you can call me Sue. Yes.
Okay, Sue, thank you, Sue. As I recall, we had a hearing before and we had a number of comments that we wanted your team to address. Sue, am I presuming that you will present these, the updated site plans tonight?
Yes, I will. If I can share the screen, I'd be happy to go over it with the board.
Certainly, Bill Nemser just stepped out for a moment, so let me see if I can give you controls.
Thank you.
Okay, Sue, I made you co-host, so you should be able to share screens.
Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen right now?
Yes,
Okay, so what I have on the screen right now is the plan that the board has seen before. This was prepared by the architect, and we believe it was prepared using the GIS maps. Our understanding is the board had questions regarding the property lines, offsets, easements, things such as that. So my office prepared a existing conditions plan. We were out there doing the survey. Wait a second, let me get it so we can see it. And we have located the building, lot lines, and offsets. So we've shown this on this plan. I know one of the questions that the board had was whether or not there are any easements on this property or going, giving rights to the other abutters over this property. We did a fairly detailed research through the deeds, and this property, let me zoom out a little bit, has rights to cross to River Street over this property owned by the Lippas, Lipka, sorry. However, there are no other easements for any others to use this property, nor do they have any easements over this property to the left of the site, which is Quinn Realty Trust or Alan Quinn in the back. So in looking at the existing conditions plan, we noted that a portion of the back parking is onto the property of Quinn, and it goes up to the existing fence, which is on his property as well. So we've taken this into consideration when we did our site plan. In preparing the site plan, we tried to address all the issues with the board. One of the things we've gone through is the parking calculations. Right now on the existing conditions plan, there were 7 parking spaces. However, the ones on the side of the building that were located in this location did not meet your geometry required for parking spaces, parallel parking spaces. So what we've had to do is we only have 19.5 feet from the edge of pavement to the building. And in order to fit in the parallel parking spaces, we'd need 22 feet. So those 2 spaces were eliminated. So as you can see, we're also on the opposite side, on the westerly side of the site, there's insufficient room for parallel parking as well. So what we've shown is 4 regular parking spaces, a handicap space that's van accessible, so it has the unloading area, and then a location for the dumpster. There's an existing concrete wall that I think might have been an old foundation that is roughly along the lot line, just our side of the lot line. So we've projected that line straight ahead so that we were able to show you dimensionally, we can fit these parking spaces within his lot. Couple of other key items that the board brought up was we've moved the stop line 2 feet back from the edge of the sidewalk. Reason being is your typical car overhang is at least 2 feet over the front tires. And that way, if somebody pulls up to the stop line, they're not going to impede pedestrians on the walkway. We've also put in a speed bump, and we've set it further back so that the car slows down for the stop sign, and they're not going to just go straight out over the sidewalk before they stop. But we've moved it back so it's clear of the existing gate out there. We've added a planter between the easterly doorway and the exit driveway so that we don't have a low planter, so we have some green, but it won't impede sight distances. And then in addition to the stop sign, the DPW requested a no left turn sign, so we've added that to the plan. I think, oh, and the other thing that we've done is we've provided you with a truck turn. I was able to download a Mack truck for rubbish removal, and we've shown the truck would pull in straight to the dumpster location, back up, and would maneuver around and exit the site. I believe those were the 3 main things that I had on my list. We go back to the site plan. Parking calculations, we looked at a straight restaurant in the downtown district was 1 space per 85 square feet. And we looked at the function of this restaurant, even though it's fast food, it's purely takeout with no seats and no waiting, practically no waiting. Everyone would have to order ahead of time. And we had the fortunate timing of the building inspector being in with your planner this morning, so we talked it with him, and he felt that saying it was more of a retail space and therefore calculate your parking based on retail, because people will be coming in, picking up their food and leaving. With that, we would need 2 spaces required by your downtown zoning. Practically speaking, we've got 5 spaces on site. Our client anticipates having 2 employees there. One would be an on-site employee doing the cooking and serving the pizzas and food, and the other one would be a driver. So we have 4 spaces on site, and we feel that that's adequate for what they anticipate. They may have a 3rd employee who would function as a second driver. So we felt that this does accommodate it. So once again, this is what we are proposing, with a 1-way in, 1-way out, and the parking in the back. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to help you.
Thank you, Sue. Bill, do you have anything to add before I turn to the board?
No, I think the question of parking came up, and just because it's DOD location, I just want to have it clarified. Of course, if the board didn't agree with that, they could still grant waivers, but we were curious because this use is not an eat-in restaurant. We don't have a definition really for that, but I think that the building commissioner made a reasonable assumption, stop, pick up, so retail works perfect, I think, on that. The other thing was, we did coordinate with the applicant's engineer. Ms. Carter was very helpful and receptive to whatever suggestions were there. And we did have a question, I think, from my notes before, regarding the speed bump being too close to the sidewalk. And so in this case, having it moved back is I believe sufficient, about a distance about where the board wanted from my notes anyway. And I think that would be good, and then the stop sign, it still leaves space for pedestrians to cross safely in front.
Thanks, Bill.
And the no left turn sign is new, and again, we're not trying to, I'm very sensitive to the sign pollution thing, but this was something DPW was concerned that somebody coming out there could make, because it is a pickup, could make the left turn. And that was new since our meeting. Awesome.
Questions or comments from the board?
I got a question about the truck turning. Do we have any information on the ability to handle the delivery trucks on the property?
If I may address that, I went over that with my client, and he told me that Domino's will adjust deliveries according to whatever size the site can accommodate. So they anticipate having a simple box truck, bringing the supplies and deliveries to the back of the restaurant. And that would be on off-peak time, so it would be like early in the morning as they're getting ready to open, rather than having them come in the lunchtime when the restaurant is busy and you're more likely to have cars in the back.
So would the turning radius be the same as going for the trash truck?
It's not quite as tight, and they may have to do multiple maneuvers. I looked at it. I could not find a small box truck in all my turning templates. And I guess the point on that is they're making it work now with the existing site. And it may not be a smooth single pass. It may take a bit of maneuvering in the back.
Do you happen to know what the distance, the distance between the sidewalk and that speed bump is?
Give me 2 seconds. Little over 17 feet.
Great, so that means that the vehicle, as it, as the back tires finish the speed bump. Will be coming up to that stop line, so that
Right.
sounds ideal in terms of placement.
Right. And the other thing we wanted to do is make sure it was a little bit back behind the swing of the gate in case the gate was in movement. It wouldn't interfere with somebody who was in the process of going over the speed bump.
The connection, the existing connection from this parcel into the Quinn property.
Yeah.
Is that being physically blocked or is that gonna remain
No.
open? What's there?
Currently, the fence wraps around and there's a pedestrian walkway there or pedestrian access there. We're not proposing to make any changes to that.
Other questions or comments on the board?
I guess just on the truck maneuver in. It's not really showing it make the turn into the site or out of the site, I guess completely, but I assume that would work. Cleanly,
Right. I think that's pretty much the same as any of your other businesses on Main Street in terms of turning in and out. I have to admit, I was so focused on making it work within the site, I forgot to have it drive in from Main Street, so I apologize for that. But as you can see, here's our granite curbing. And then out for the planter here, so the width between the granite curbings is wait a second. $27 feet and looks like 19 feet.
Anything else on the board?
Not for her.
Sue, do you anticipate any waivers necessary?
To be honest with you, I have come into this a little bit late in the process, and I don't anticipate waivers. I know the one that we discussed was potentially from parking. If the board disagreed with what the building inspector and the planner and I came up with this morning, that would be a waiver. Otherwise, basically the site, it is what it is. There's not a lot of ability to make changes.
Bill, any waivers from your point of view?
Downtown overlay criteria is, this is a use permit. And, the downtown overlay criteria covers everything that we have found. The parking was the question. And you know that, the really, there's not much else that we're sure about, because the configuration with this configuration with the reduced parking was the only thing that kind of, it's a fairly new development, so we just did that this morning, that's why that was done, but. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And then I just want to mention something like the dumpster company, I spoke Republic, and they tried the dumpster big truck, they go in and out test it, and they said like everything is okay for the second food delivery for box truck. And I spoke to Domino's, they said like we are literally sending the truck, side like based on the location, what's eligible, and then timeline is like whatever time is required, they are gonna be adjusting the time, they're not gonna go overnight delivery.
Okay, anything else on site plans, traffic, parking, circulation from the board? Bill, can we talk, I think you were gonna do some homework, as I recall, on, delivery times and hours of operation? And
Yeah,
back
we-
to the board?
We have not, we found nothing. On the restrictions, we asked about, like, for example, McDonald's, the liquor store. And no, I mean, everything is, with nothing regulated, there's not really trends, the board. Has. Pretty much, been the regulating authority on that, our board. You know, on deliveries and whatnot. But. The latest, business open we have is McDonald's.
Hours of operation, is that a part of our discussion?
Could be, this is, to be clear, this is not a site plan, this is a special permit, so you can condition hours of operation, deliveries, any of that, yeah.
What are your anticipated hours of operation?
Yeah. And what am I planning to do for the mayor? If it's okay for the board, I'm planning to do 10:30 AM to like 11, except Friday and Saturday, I would like to keep it until midnight. If it's not, whatever the board is like requesting, I'm okay to change it. It's not something,
10 to, I'm sorry,
10:30 AM opening,
10 to 10 to 10.
10:30 to like 11, except the Friday and Saturday, I wanna keep it until midnight.
That's what you're requesting for the board, okay?
But if board say like every day like 11, I can keep it every day 11,
Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
As I understand it, I believe there are other businesses on the weekends open at least till midnight. Is that correct?
McDonald's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, McDonald's is open, I think even later than that.
probably.
I think the PC stays open late. I think they're 1 AM,
Oh, that could be one, could be one.
but either way, definitely at least midnight. So, okay. Any other topics for the board to consider?
Just if we're talking hours, I would suggest. Maybe a prohibition of. Business and deliveries between midnight and 8 AM. Just let the rest of it work itself out.
How would you be agreeable to no deliveries between midnight and 8 AM?
For the, what I'm receiving the delivery, right? Yeah, I
That's okay.
spoke to corporate and they said like they're okay to arrange whatever the town is requesting. They're gonna do it like what I'm gonna tell them.
So then you would be able to accept deliveries 8 AM to during your business hours?
Yes.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Other items?
This is potential conditions we. It come up earlier that, all the drivers would be employees and not contractors or third party deliveries. And also that they would not be, exiting via Naylor Court, they would be shooting across the street and coming down Main Street.
I'm sorry, Bill, what was that second part? Okay, drivers would
There's a concern.
not be contractors, they would be work for Domino's.
Yeah.
What was the second thing?
Employees. Second one is the drivers would not use Naylor Court. So they wouldn't be shooting directly across the street, they would turn and go down Main Street,
Right turn only,
a little
I
slower.
guess,
Yeah,
for employees, right?
don't drive on Naylor Court
Right.
for deliveries.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Because the board is working to increase that as a public space as well and a gathering space, and so that's the reason for that, and I think that makes sense.
Yes, makes sense.
We don't want anyone cutting through parking lots to have a shortcut.
Yeah, definitely.
People that are driving on the road, we want them obviously to be on the road.
Understand.
And then it's also a safety item.
Yeah, definitely.
Do we need something specific about, no seating and no drive up, or is that just given based on the materials presented?
I don't know, but I can tell you that there is no seating allowed in the building. They're not trying to have
Okay,
seating in the building.
right, but
If they wanted to add it, they'd have to come back to the board for some, I mean, I don't know if Domino's has any place you can sit and eat, but if they did, or whatever happened, they would have to,
if this turned into Papa John's or something, you know, where they automatically be able to just, a couple seats.
Only we need to do that person or that individual entity would need to come for a special permit themselves.
Would they?
Because that would be a change of use, because this is retail.
The special permit is non-transferable, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
well, the special permit runs with the owner.
With the owner,
Okay,
right?
But if he became Papa John's, you're saying?
We're not saying.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying. If it's an applicant similar to this,
Mhm.
had a similar business, any,
Well, I mean, having seating would turn into a restaurant, which means it would be a different type of business
Yeah.
and.
right.
and so far as a drive-through use, a drive-through use requires a specific special permit.
Yeah.
This is not a drive-through use, and if the board likes, I mean, I can just put that, just emphasize that in the decision.
My only question is if we're characterizing this use as fast food restaurant.
Mhm.
And we're characterizing the parking requirement as retail,
Mhm.
you know, I just wanna. You know, keep on top of that.
That's a good point, and the reason for that is we have a rush, but we don't
No,
have it.
I agree
Right.
with the logic behind it, I
Yeah.
just wanna say,
so maybe.
Well, what if we just wait?
For the parking, you were saying?
maybe, should we just waiver parking to be safe? To make it make sense, I agree with the logic entirely, because we don't have a parking definition for a
Yeah,
non-sit-down restaurant. But this is classified as a fast food restaurant, right?
it is,
Yeah.
it is in the use permit, you're
Yeah.
correct.
So I'm just trying to.
Right, here's what I think, if. For, let's say. There was a change of use, if we put in here that this. Special permit is based on a parking requirements for, you know, if the idea is it's based on parking requirements for retail. We just say any change to in dining, or what do you call it, in
Eat in,
yeah, eat-in dining or addition of anything else shall require an additional special permit and or planning board, and that's what would be required, I mean, and or a site plan by the planning board. We could just build that in, you know, or I could say, you know, if you wanna do the waivers, you say waiver from parking requirements to meet this. I don't think the applicant cares
yeah,
on it,
I don't
is
think
it?
it- I'm just trying to set it up so.
Yeah.
nobody-
I guess the question is, if somebody was asking, why did the board do this? We grant waivers all the time for parking downtown, as you know, so
But
I'm
I'm
not.
saying if they say, why did you call it fast food restaurant for use, and then you gave them a retail. parking
Yeah.
thing.
I could see that.
I'm, again, I don't think it's a problem, I'm just trying to, you know, anticipate.
Then perhaps the way to do it would be, in the condition of approval, the board grants a parking waiver, which is their right to do, to reflect the parking as shown on the plan dated
Yep.
today, November 12th. Yeah, does that give you
You
more?
could even say consistent with retail requirements, which are more applicable to the tenant. Or whatever.
Got myself mixed up. Parking, okay. Waiver. Consistent with plan. Based, I'll put a note based on retail. Requirement. Is that good? You like that, or?
I do.
What other items from the board, like signage is not our purview or discussion, correct? Cause
Off site. Signage,
we don't need to discuss signage
No.
because signage goes to the building commissioner.
No.
Correct?
yeah, the sign is, permitted, and if there's no, if the applicant just goes under the existing bylaws, the sign, doesn't come to the board. If he deviated, you know, comment, I don't, you know, we haven't had a lot of those, but,
Yeah.
and you're aware of that. Sign permits.
Any other items?
Regarding a little bit of a decrease in parking, I'm just wondering if there's any concerns of snow storage and how that'll be dealt with.
There's gonna be like a companies that I'm gonna work with the snow blowing. They will like take care of it, everything. Nothing usually I'm like, able to take care of it.
Make sure it doesn't go to the
Yeah,
butters properties.
yeah.
Are you planning to have them remove snow off site?
I'm planning to, like, to make them like a move it somewhere at the corner in my property, then it can have it by itself. Looking maybe like a one parking space rather than like a going on the street. That would be the better option.
One thing to note, you should not, block the handicap parking space, right, at any time, of course.
And
What else, Bill, anything else?
The downtown overlay district.
Criteria?
Yeah, we have criteria that, we wanna, make sure that we can, when we go through our findings, which I can pull up, our findings require consistency with both types of special permits, which we talk about in this case. It's a special permit, a standard special permit and a special permit, under the downtown overlay district criteria, so we could run through that and you can talk about ways that you think you can meet or could be consistent with them. If the board is good with that.
Yes.
Before that, do we want to finish off public comment?
Oh, yes, let's open it up for public comments. Those that are online.
Yeah.
If you would like to make a public comment, please use the raise hand feature. Or turn on your camera and raise your hand and we'll call on people one at a time. For the record, Bill, there's no one here in town hall able to provide a public comment.
Nope.
We can turn it over to you, Bill, for
Okay.
the special permit criteria.
Thanks,
Excuse me,
Sue.
Mr. Chairman, do you anticipate needing me for any additional? I have conflicting hearings tonight, so unless you need me for something, I would ask if I could leave this meeting with your permission.
I always allow the applicant and the applicant's team to determine how to proceed if you and the applicant feel that your presence is no longer necessary. I don't have any other questions for you, but it's your determination. So,
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Good night.
thanks, Sue.
Dave. The special permit criteria. Where? This is a different high lot. It's the same. Criteria, so it works out just fine. And I'll share this, give me a minute, and I'm going to share this with our viewers. Okay, board. So. Here. Is our. Criteria, so the first. That's too big enough. Okay, so these are all for our first criteria. And what the board's doing is just acknowledging that they've considered each of these factors, and if there are any specific issues that need to be mitigated. Now, the board has already added hours of operation. And the delivery hours from midnight to 8. And that employees are going to be employed by the business and no mail or court for deliveries. And just before I go further, so I'll get myself mixed up with my notes here, is the board saying we don't want the waiver, we just want condition of permit like Natalie and I discussed? For the spots, or do you want me to grant the waiver? I mean, to request a waiver for the parking,
I was thinking request a waiver, but then reference
okay,
the number being appropriate for,
okay, so that will be a waiver then, okay.
I don't know, what do you guys think?
I'm fine with having a waiver.
Yeah, I just want to make sure my notes are. Okay, good. All right, so, the social, economic, community needs, traffic flow and safety. Utilities, neighborhood character, social structures, impacts on natural environment. And fiscal impact, so,
Did we have any comments from DPW, fire, police, anyone on this?
yes, DPW has asked about the, left turn. They were concerned about that. Nothing from police or fire, and, nothing from conservation.
Okay.
Then this is the downtown overlay criteria. Some of this are moot because it's an existing structure. And they're not doing really anything to that. The high quality development, there's no changes being made on letter A. You're not changing the drainage at all, and there's a stormwater, so it's remaining the same.
But we're not changing, you're not repaving or anything like that, right? Okay.
And, now this one, with the proposal will improve the functioning downtown. So, on this one, I did explain, to the applicant that, there are, a number of ways you can provide significant improvements to the downtown pedestrian experience. In this case, number 3 is a good possibility. Or number 6, I would think. Either of those I could think of a number of ways, but I would say, I think the applicant is aware of this, and did you have any ideas that you'd like to present to the board? How you can meet this criteria of the, special permit for the downtown district?
Number 6, we are planning to put like some planting in front of the store, make the downtown area look better. And at the same time, like we put like all over like the front side, like a new lighting. That reflecting like the sidewalk to make the pedestrian like the walk around the safety, see the if there's any car, anything going on, and see the page better.
For other projects of similar scope and size in the downtown, we have requested and then instructed applicants to provide funding to plant trees in the downtown area.
Yes.
Would that be something you would be willing to participate in?
Yes, I just like in the first meeting, you were not here, I said like $1,000, if it's okay, I would like to donate. Is it too low?
I like to look at to make things comparable based on size of project. Do you have a memory of the recent projects we've done for tree plantings?
We did, the last one we did was for. What was the marijuana retailer name? It was-
The sweet, the one in.
Yeah, $500 and a mural.
Oh, yes.
And before that, we had,
And that was a smaller,
very small,
very small project.
with with Rise, we did all the trees downtown.
Right.
But, let's see, we did, what else had one there? Recently done,
That's okay.
yeah,
And remind me, is this this is a donation to the downtown tree fund,
only through Public Works for the tree fund.
right?
Right.
And then those monies are donated to the fund.
And then the trees, or the trees, it may be servicing the trees, or it may be planting new ones, or it may be, remember when we did another one recently. we had a new well put in for the tree.
Right.
But it would be tree related for the downtown, for the enhancement of everybody.
I would say like the 2,000, I would like to make it. At least,
To me, that number sounds like it's comparable to other projects, unless unless the board disagreed. I think that number is comparable to
2,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's acceptable without looking in it in further detail.
Can I get some lighting? I think it's fine, I just. I want to make sure. Basically, the existing lighting is gonna be made operable or better. You're not putting in new poles or anything, right?
no, I put the new for like in the parking lot, because in the parking lot, they didn't have like any lighting.
Yeah, I only care about the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm talking about the parking lot.
What,
On the right side and the left side, I put like each side in the one. And then behind the building, I put like the two in the back side to make sure like the all over there around like has the lighting. And additional other than this front side, what we had it, I replaced it with the brand new to like to make it better.
we're just replacing the existing heads, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not a pole or.
Oh, no. Yeah, the existing one.
I think, yeah, Jake, what the board is, could, you know, I think of a key, I probably told you this, but a key goal of this board is to make it so when people are walking, there's lighting, you know, for the public, just, and it's a lit, not a, looks different nice, so that's what they.
Even if you get out today, when you pass it, it's right now it's on. Everything is like installed, it's working, except like two in the front door.
What else, Bill?
That's all I have.
Okay, any final questions or comments from the board? Anything you would like to add before we close the hearing? No more information? Okay, once we close the hearing, we can't have any new information entered, just so you understand. Okay. Bill, anything less?
No, somebody new popped in on that, but it's probably good in that.
Anything new from you? Anything else?
Anything else? No, new? No.
Anything else? No. Okay,
No, I think that's generous and I think, and it's, very fair and, I think the clarification needed with the waiver, I'm glad we did that. I think it'd be a good project. And it's, will fit in nicely.
all right, I'll make a motion to close the hearing. All in favor to close the hearing, please raise your hand. Oh,
I'm not allowed to do anything.
understood.
Yeah, Chris was here
We can't
after.
vote on it, right?
Yeah.
So 4-0 to close the hearing. So what I have understood is that we will have a parking waiver consistent with the site plan that was presented today and has a November 2024 date on it. That shows five parking spots, one being handicap. Conditions will be a $2,000 donation to the tree fund. Made.
Do you want me to go?
Made 3 months, within 3 months of CO,
Within 3 months of CI?
Post, you know.
post CO. So that will give you 3 months after you receive your certificate of occupancy to make the donation to the tree fund. So we let you get started first.
And you just, we can coordinate that, but it'll be made to public works.
Conditions that drivers need to be employees of the business. No driving services will be allowed for the special permit. Drivers must turn right, leaving the property. And cannot drive through Naylor Court. Under any conditions. No deliveries from 12 AM to 8 AM. Is that it? Did I get it?
Hours of operation are going to be on Friday and Saturday, 10 AM to midnight.
Does the board want to enter in hours of operation?
Well, I was actually thinking. No hours of operation or deliveries midnight to 8, and, they want to open at 9 AM or
Okay.
till midnight on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Not sure I care.
that's fine.
So, and how does that?
So no deliveries 12 to 8 AM and no hours of operation 12 to 8 AM. Just makes
leave
it
that
clean.
down.
Just
Okay,
makes it very clean and simple.
no deliveries, no operation.
That's mean like if the Domino's force me to keep to open until midnight for every day, is it okay to do it?
Yes,
Yeah.
under this, the way we're writing it, the answer would be yes.
So we're gonna have no operation,
Breakfast pizza too.
so basically everything is midnight until 8 AM, they can't do it,
No.
operate and delivery.
That's right, no operation, no deliveries.
Yeah, that's neat, that's a better way to do it probably, but that gives you what you
Yeah,
want.
definitely, no, that's something.
And we had, let me make sure mail court, we discussed, employees of Domino's, we discussed. Parking waiver is gonna, okay, yeah, okay,
Is that it?
all I got.
Okay, so we have two votes. One is for site plan approval.
We're not really, we're doing, it's not really full
Just-
site plan approval.
We're not taking a site plan approval vote,
Right, so what we're gonna do,
special.
we're gonna adopt this plan, I'm gonna put it as an exhibit. And so we're gonna say, like, when we talk about the parking, it's gonna be consistent with the plan as exhibit A. So I'm gonna make it an exhibit, which is typically what I do with, our use permits anyway.
Okay. So then it's special permit consistent with 9.4.6 and 10.6.
Correct, downtown overlay.
Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion to find, that the plan, that the application is consistent with the special permit requirements for section 9.4.6 and section 10.6 of our zoning bylaws.
I think it's 10-4.
10.4. 9.4.6 and 10.4.
Do you want them separately, Bill?
No, I think we can do both together.
And it also with this motion, are the parking waiver discussed and the conditions that were previously discussed.
Correct.
And that's the motion.
And we need to, because this, Chris can't vote on this, it's a super majority, so I need unanimous on this to pass, to carry.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Okay, then we'll do roll call votes. We'll start with Jeff.
Yes.
I vote yes. Natalie,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
that's 4-0 to issue the special permits in accordance with the waiver and the conditions.
Okay, I'll be in touch in the next couple of days.
Thanks for Mr. Chad for
Thank you
coming.
so much, I appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you for your patience and working with everybody.
Okay.
Now,
Let's open up the public hearing for 78 to 80 Main Street. This is a continuance from October 8th, 2024.
yes, so this is a special permit request and, we're going, the request is for a multifamily dwelling in the downtown overlay district. Is it, okay?
Yeah.
And, the difference with this is, I think one of the board had asked her, we were talking about the frontage is not on Main Street in this particular unit. The board had met, went through a lot of the criteria with the applicant. What was it? Oh yeah, there's her, okay, and there were a couple of comments that I'll let, or you can discuss them if you want, or I'll pull them up. But these are all reflective of all the input I received from the board in between hearings. And I erred, but I guess it worked out okay anyway, but on the last one, he was that was supposed to be on our previous planning board meeting, and it didn't get on the, I didn't have it advertised in.
Is there any chance you can pull it up, Bill? I don't have it on this computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I am going to do it in a second, and And I'll share it so you can see it. Let's see, and this is the property at night, there it is in the day. There you go. Can everybody see that okay? Bert, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I'll leave it to you you can walk through it if you want.
Yeah, I think I just was asked to clarify the light in the front and the green space. Removing 2 parking spaces in the back and turning it into green space on River Street. And then this is a version 2 of it. I think the first one I submitted, I just marked off the parking spaces. And there was a request to outline the whole space that could be turned into improved upon. So that's the added green space there. Yeah, I think that's all that I can think of, but if there's any questions, happy to answer any.
Any questions from the board?
Over here.
No? Okay. Bill, what's our obligation tonight?
So tonight, it's the same as the last one, in that we're going to take a vote for, issuance of a special permit, in this case, special permit for multifamily, and I'll pull the staff, which goes over it. And, make sure this is the, let's see, and the request is, oops, it's a total of 3 units, right, being converted from 2 to 3.
Well, yeah, the request is to have 3 units. Currently, there's a residential on the second floor, and the first floor of the house was commercial, and then there's a garage.
And so what will be the total unit count?
Total unit count would be 3 for the property, right?
Right. 3 residential units.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, the board would be is requested to grant a multifamily use permit allowing 3 units. And the DOD criteria again applies. The criteria was discussed at our previous meeting, I believe, and that the enhancement of the green space it does provide a significant improvement to the water quality. That's I think was what the board had believed this, and that the lighting provided a improvement to the downtown area. And I think that, am I correct? And that was,
Yeah, that's
the way
exactly.
you remember.
And the green space is pedestrian experience. Okay.
And pedestrian experience, yeah, that's right, yes, you can. That's a significant, yeah. So with that would be the same basic vote as we had last time, fine, and just the difference would be for 3 multifamily use, 3 residential units, subject to the conditions that we were met already by this plan, so we would adopt this plan again by reference and make it an exhibit.
Anything else from the board?
Have we checked for public comment?
We do,
Oh, thank you.
you have some people here.
Again. I will open it up for public comment. If members that are online, if you could. Bill, are there anyone online? Is there anyone?
I thought there was, we'll see them on.
Anyway, if there's members online that wish to enter public comment, please use the hand feature. Bill, just for the record, there's no one here in the room. and apparently no one online either that can make a public
Oh,
comment.
all right.
Yeah.
No wonder I couldn't find them.
This is just procedure. I will now close public comment for the record.
Yeah.
Bill, I would like to keep up, the request to add to the tree fund for projects in the downtown to help improve the downtown overall. I look at this as a small project on this end. Particularly since we're not changing really at all. The only changes that are being made as from the site are already improving, the site conditions, removing impervious surfaces and stuff. But I was thinking of maybe like a $200 donation to the tree fund. Or would you find that acceptable?
Yeah, I'd do 500. I'll just, whatever,
Okay.
rather improve downtown. So,
Great, thank you. I think but for me, every one of these data points is important.
if you want to keep it consistent, if the 200 was for a reason, I mean, whatever works.
No. Oh, no, you've already offered 5.
That's fine.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have.
I'm trying to make the motion.
Well, hold on, Ert, is there anything else you would like to enter into the record before we close the hearing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't have anything. Yeah.
It was offered. You can try.
Should I first make a motion to close the hearing?
Yes, you should.
Okay, I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Well, second that. All in favor to close the hearing, please raise your hand. That's 5-0 to close the hearing.
Right, so the first motion is a change of use. Is that a motion or that's not separate?
No, we're
Okay.
just granting a special permit to
Okay,
allow.
so I'll make a motion to grant a special permit consistent with 9.4.6 and 10.4.
And finding that the criteria's been met.
Finding that the criteria section have been in the special permit as shown on the plan presented tonight.
And with the donation to.
And with the donation to the tree fund of $500. Sure.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Chris can vote on this one.
Yes, you can. All in favor of the motion made, please raise your hand. It's 5-0 for the motion. 5-0 in favor
Okay.
of the special permit.
Or I'll be in touch in the next couple of days. I'll draft a decision and I'll keep in touch, and then it'll be filed with the clerk, and then there's a 20-day appeal period, and then you're notified bearer.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Bill.
Okay. Oh.
Letter update.
Yeah, okay, thank you for something else, so. All right, planner update,
Oh, sorry, we should do minutes.
Oh, yeah.
If you can take your time and drop some notes down.
I just have one thing, good idea, I heard it, brought back from the conference that I'm gonna throw at us tonight to use, I love it.
I got a few comments on the gate.
Which one, October 8th? What you got?
Public hearing for Green Meadow,
Mhm.
he keeps referencing at least 2 places, bollards at the front entrance.
Oh, that's not right. That's on the, was it south?
Yeah,
Okay.
technically there's a reference in the bollard spacing being 16.5 feet. You might just want to delete that reference.
Where is this from?
The second paragraph on the second page. Basically, bollards will be 16.5 feet.
I don't think we need the detail about bollard spacing, I we can get that off the plan, so.
About the space between them?
Just delete
That sense,
that sentence.
the bollards themselves are about a foot wide,
You can get rid of that.
Get rid of that.
kind of like that.
And then for the dominoes, the very last sentence from the second paragraph. Your question about how many deliveries they get, we probably need more clear, that there were deliveries they made.
Wait, what?
Oh, me,
The deliveries they get. It's to anyone.
how many typically made? Okay,
Then. The bottom of that page, he's talking stuff. Backwards.
sorry, which one? The last page?
Speed bump discussion on the last paragraph on page 3.
Page 3.
You know, the exit one was too close. And the entrance one is didn't really serve the purpose.
You see that the entrance was too close. At the exit was too close, I see, because that's what you're saying, the speed bump is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the speed bump at the entrance. Is not, we didn't want that, he had one originally, right? And he took it off, remember, in the front,
Correct.
so that statement's correct, right? That's what I'm saying.
Kind of unnecessary.
Oh, okay, I'll strike that. And then clarify that the exit.
Actually, we don't even need those second and third ones.
Well, should I strike it?
Because we have a reference to the engineer.
Okay, I'll strike them both and. Serve the purpose of slowing down cars.
And then, the end of that discussion on page 4. Was a reference to a comment from Linda Thayer and her. Her name spelled with a Y.
We wouldn't know that just by the public comment, though.
However, I'd like to point out that
No,
Chris Klein's name is misspelled in both of these minutes. We gotta fix that.
does he like it better this way?
If you can-
Okay,
I was gonna get there, but I'm glad that somebody else thought so.
Oh, that was that, no,
Your name
Wait.
spelled somewhere in here, I forget, one of these.
This week,
I thought, I swear I saw it.
you didn't.
Are you sure, Chris?
Place. I know.
I'm pretty sure.
wait a minute,
You got it right on the placard.
It's not like the underwear company, Bill.
One place in the-
Okay, if anyone sees any S's in my name, get rid of it.
oh, it's easier just to change his name.
My name,
Most of the apostrophes.
yeah,
right.
it gets confusing.
There's a handful of them.
I'll make him, sorry about that. All right, got that.
Marrying into a.
Chris is with a C, so that's all right.
Oh, yeah, you took that one home.
We're half there.
That was a choice.
Okay, good.
It was.
First paragraph of page 5. Burks. Going to a total of 3 units, not 4.
Oh, yeah, 3. Good catch.
After I got Bill's email this morning, I had the game up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and there is an S in her name in the PMOD discussion. You can remove that on the last page.
This again?
Yeah, listen.
Wait, on where?
The last page, Mr. Crenton and Robert. I know.
We usually do pretty well with that one. Oh, you sure enough, all right. And chainsaws, right?
Yeah, you can change it to chainsaw if you want.
We should make it the chair, so it'd be chair chainsaw.
Once in the minutes, only and got auto corrected to chainsaw. And we left it.
Awesome. Bill,
Yes.
there are, on these meeting minutes from the 8th regarding the Domino's discussion. We have public comments that go into specific detail. Do
Yeah,
we usually have that level of detail? With public comments?
well, it depends. I think when it's germane to the discussion and the rationale of the business of the permit. I mean.
One thing
It's the board's choice.
one thing I cannot confirm about these comments is
Right.
that someone almost killed by a cyclist, like very much could have happened.
Okay, but, well, I don't know if that's, okay, I see your point.
That's what was stated.
Perhaps that would, it's up to the board. Would you like me to strike anything, remove it?
I just want to be consistent. And it's, yeah, I don't know what to say.
It does feel very detailed. I don't really have a problem with it in this one, but
Okay. That's fine.
people might read these ones.
As long as it's consistent with how we typically present public comment, then it's fine.
Well, it depends on the comments, you know, because like I said, when the comments are detailed, sometimes it's been, because a lot of comments are like, you know, this is a dumb idea, why are we doing it?
Mm.
And I'm concerned about light, there's only so much you can,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the,
Yeah, and
I understand the
it's
board.
just, I don't know. That's fine, just leave it.
All right, can I motion?
Yes.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes of October 8th as amended.
I'll second that.
All in favor to approve that motion for October 8th, please raise your hand. 5-0 to approve the meeting minutes from October 8th
As amended.
as amended. October 22nd, Chris Klein is still working at the Endor Company.
So it's important to have,
That's an odd way of putting it.
Still, it's right there.
Seems like it'd be a lot less stressful than what I
Felt
do.
like kind of fun, not like the.
gimmies can be stressful.
Is it just referencing it's an alternate way to spell his name? Is that Chris Klein alternate? Is that your alter ego?
He's gonna start spelling it right after, as of tonight.
You didn't see any other typos in this one, though. Oh, wait, did we? No, this is the blessing, sorry. These are also pretty detailed public comments, so.
Okay.
The second, top line of the second paragraph of page 2. I called it a mo strip, not a mode strip.
Yeah.
Oh, what? What'd you call it?
Mo, M-O-W. Is there another term we want to use for that?
I think if it's a LA, maybe it's an a la mode.
That was good.
I'm pretty tired.
And then, first paragraph of 1416 Hillside, isn't he also making that a 3 unit? Instead of a 4 unit now, is that, am I
Yeah.
wrong? Or-
Yeah, he hasn't amended the application yet.
Okay,
Maybe if, where's it in there? Let's see, maybe a thing to do with.
Line of the first paragraph. Total of 4.
Well, then, because he did say right away that he was,
Maybe point it out in, oh, but it does kind of say that in second paragraph, buried in the middle. Total units have been reduced from 4.
oh, yeah, he does, okay, right, so yeah, okay.
You could like lead off the paragraph with that.
Okay, I'll move that, I can move that to the front of the sentence, so the paragraphs that reads better. To the front of the paragraph.
Do all boards take as much care with their minutes as we do?
Yes, no. Like, for example, the zoning board got kind of annoyed recently and they wanted me to pare them back quite a bit. Because of the, but, and I see that the select board is very truncated. Really, the only rules are, are, you know, the motions and the votes and stuff, but our stuff tends to be more intricate.
I like, because if you miss the meeting, you can actually read the minutes and know what people
Yeah.
said.
And we always do have a
They're
recording.
supposed to capture the deliberations.
Yeah, there's deliberations, but you know, you would say, yeah, it's very, very. You know, they're minimal. Ours, though, our stuff tends to be more complicated, so I kind of, not complicated, but like, stuff we wanna get straight. And we do have the video, so I think we have a good. I don't know, what do you guys say, is this too much still?
I like it. I like it.
I like it too.
It's a good happy medium.
Yeah.
I have another,
Yes, we all found it.
oh, we did?
Oh, I gotta
Is my name spelled wrong?
No, go ahead.
You do it.
Page 3. The first paragraph.
Yeah, buddy.
Has provided the plans to conservation. It's a plan.
Well, maybe he didn't get them, like, he may provide it.
They're talking about parking lots and spaces.
I think it means plans, right?
It does,
Okay.
plan or plans.
Plans.
And also a forsythia.
Okay, anything else on that?
In that paragraph on the prior page. The sixth printed line,
What?
it says the applicant stated there's a 0 setback requirement. Can we delete that because it's actually
Okay,
different setbacks for parking and for,
yeah, good point, okay, got it,
it's just doesn't add anything to the discussion.
good point.
And it says delete, but it's not stated back.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from October 22nd, 2024, as discussed and amended tonight.
Second.
All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 5-0 to
Yep.
approve the meeting minutes as amended
Oh, thank you.
from October 22nd. All right, planner update.
Okay, planner update, okay, let's go backwards, I have officially confirmed today. Or, wow, last week, but I just got it today, that's it, we are in safe harbor for 1 year. Right now, just as it is, so and I advised, this was really in relation to our 40B, and so we got a letter from the state, and, so we're in safe harbor at least until October of next year. Okay, so
Is that based on our housing unit numbers or is that?
it's based on the recent production we've had that got certified, which in this case is 115.
Okay.
So those were counted to the, added to the, SHI.
Great.
So that's good news. 2, I had SNEPA last week, Southern New England American Planning Association. And a lot of stuff, I got a lot of absolutely loaded with ideas, but a lot of good ideas and that apply to us, but one in particular, since we're doing some changes, and I thought this would be so cool for what Bill and Natalie are working on too. There is a lot of communities are having trouble permitting what they call experience-based uses, because there's nothing that falls in for. So something, for example, like that you'd find in an entertainment area. So right now, if we had an escape room, for example, we don't, how would we permit it? Okay, so they made a category that you can make a special permit or whatever you want to do with it, but experience-based use, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, we should have thought of that, so. Anyway, I thought that was cool, kind of exciting.
We'll add it to the overlay district.
So you're,
Well, we can have it anyway, we just put it as a use wherever you want, if you want it, but
so you're drafting us up language on this?
if you like it, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool.
What would that encompass? What will the definition be?
The definition.
Like a pizza, that's an.
Yeah, well, it'd be a special permit and I'd steal the one Burlington just did it.
Okay,
A friend of mine who's a planner over there just did it. It was,
I mean, do you wanna put it on an item coming up for discussion
Yeah.
purposes?
yeah, that's what I,
Townwide, right,
what's that?
that's not a PMOD, that's a.
No, but it would be one that I think we might wanna have in it.
maybe we could incentivize it specifically, though. Escape rooms on Powder Mill Road.
You can find your way out of the mill.
Yeah,
Right.
that would be, you can probably, the problem is we probably,
I have
some
been
people
lost.
probably still are.
I've got a lot of them.
There's probably still people wandering. You know, I mean. Okay, so that was a cool one. There's lawsuits, a bunch of them teed up about, as you can imagine, waiting for the, decision at, on 40B, not 40B, on MBTA communities with the. So that was an interesting, highlight of the conference and,
But not us,
Well, that's
not us.
Not us? Oh, no, it's not us.
We're-
And then, what do you think about this? I ended up, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the zoning board out of the rest of of the uses that are typically ours for this one too. So for example, I've got like the BP gas station, which is something we would normally do. This with the zoning board, they don't want it. So I think I'd like to make those changes too, if we're gonna try to make stuff going through here. So there's a half dozen uses or so. If you look, Bill has the zoning bylaws there, but if you look, they don't seem to make a rhyme or reason. Okay,
You're gonna put that together and present that to
that's my
us?
plan, that's my plan.
Okay.
Bancroft, okay, they just. Well, Bancroft wants to make several modifications to the plan, the approved site plan, which are. All pretty much make sense. But one of the, you remember one of the, we did want them to come for a major site plan amendment, which they're going to do. They filed, I expect to have them in December. Early December. I don't think it'll be anything that you haven't seen before. It's some of the recent configurations. And then I'm still trying to work with the CPC to get the rest of the improvements funded. A few of them apparently may not be, but we'll see. And then lastly, and as you know, I think all of you, Annette was forced to step down for personal reasons. So luckily we have Chris teed up now to sit in, but and I don't know how the board wants to go forward with that. I'll leave it to you. To Chris A. Chris A.
I think we advertise.
Or and for alternate.
They'll open an alternate seat if you would prefer to be I guess what we call a full member.
Yeah,
What do you call it?
Yeah, it's a different obligation of the term limit, would you, if you're interested, which I think the board has worked with you, and I don't know if it's up, you know, they're here. That is a 5-year term. And I think it's 5, yeah, and we plan. Yeah. I'm trying to have it extended, like.
Told me to do this.
It's like the military.
3-2.
I started getting.
32?
That's a term somewhere.
It's 5 years.
Is it?
I think Jeff told me 2, I was in
What do
like
you
4
think
meeting at 4.
Doesn't he take over after we're term?
What's the rest of her term? She's with me.
In front of me.
I don't remember either. I think it's
So
2025.
it's yours to accept. You're also welcome to pass, but if you accept, then we advertise for an alternate position. If you
Right.
pass, then we advertise.
Right, that's right, and I also need it in writing, so if you're, I think, you know,
Think about it.
yeah, if you're willing to get, and we plant a chip in you. It's a.
Another one?
Yeah, right.
And can we specify in the advertisement that we're not accepting men?
White engineer.
Men engineers.
I think I'll just go for a woman named Chris.
Okay. No, wait, male, okay, yeah.
Engineer part of the.
Oh, yeah, we gotta.
It's just bad.
So Chris, if you could just let me know, I think it'd be terrific on this, but if you send me a note, just say I'd be interested in starting as full time, or if you wanna stay as alternate, send me that, just cause I gotta advertise and get Gotta get a live one in here sooner or later, so.
Hey, can I back up on one topic?
I don't know.
There's no freaking way I want the accessory home-based business type Bs to come to this board.
To this board?
Yeah, zoning could keep it.
Did we put it on there?
It goes to zoning, but you're saying zoning wants to dump everything back on us.
No, not that.
No.
No, I said uses that are not difficult. Or like, we gotta go through them. No, you're right, absolutely. No, but there's a couple in there that are weird. I'll go through them but like the gas station, I'm sitting there like, what are we doing? Why am I doing a gas station? Or whatever it was, overnight truck storage at the vehicle storage. Yeah. That's what I got. There was, let me think. Yeah, I think that's everything.
You guys, I was kidding, I love engineers.
Engineer for.
Too much of a good thing.
We do. Or maybe it'd be easier if you just went to engineering school for a couple weeks.
Seriously, I'll get rid of it.
That online course.
Okay, what else, anyone? Good?
I think that's it. Our next meeting is, Hillside. And. That might be it.
Put PMOD on the next agenda.
Okay.
Do we have a brave soul that will volunteer to close? The meeting every time, and please allow me to explain. The last two individuals that I've asked to close meetings have both resigned.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor to close the meeting, please raise your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I actually, thought about that right after I got the email this morning. I was like, did Chris know, and
Chris may-
wanted to give her an official.
Somebody said, Steve had said that, he talked to you this weekend.